Tonight, I invite you on a journey, not through bustling cities or towering mountains, but along the gentle, meandering course of a river. This is no ordinary river. This is the River of Renewal, a place where time slows, worries drift away, and every drop of water carries the promise of a fresh start. As we begin our journey, close your eyes and imagine the soft murmuring of water flowing over smooth stones. Picture the river's edge, where the grass is green and lush, and the trees lean in close, their leaves whispering secrets to the wind. The air is cool and crisp, filled with the soothing scent of earth and water mingling together. Our journey starts at the source, a small, crystal-clear spring bubbling up from the earth. This spring represents the beginning of renewal, a place where life starts anew. The water here is pure and untouched, a symbol of the untapped potential within each of us. Like the spring, we all have a source of inner strength and clarity waiting to be discovered. As the river flows, it grows, fed by streams and tributaries that join its path. Each of these contributions represents the experiences and lessons that shape our lives. The river, once a gentle trickle, gains momentum and purpose, just as we do when we embrace the wisdom of our journeys. In this confluence there is power and resilience, a testament to the strength we gain from our connections and experiences. The river winds through valleys and plains, its waters reflecting the changing sky. It encounters obstacles, rocks, fallen branches, and sometimes even man-made barriers. Yet the river does not stop. It flows around, over onto these obstacles, finding new paths and carving new routes. This is the essence of renewal: adapting, persevering, and finding a way forward no matter the challenge. As we follow the river, we come to a quiet, wide stretch where the water moves slowly, almost imperceptibly. This is a place of reflection, where the surface mirrors the world above and within. Here we are reminded to pause and look inward, to consider our own reflections and the depths beneath. In these moments of stillness, we find clarity and insight, a deeper understanding of who we are and who we wish to become. Moving onward, the river approaches the delta, where it meets the vast, boundless sea. This is the culmination of our journey, a place where the river releases its waters, merging with the ocean in an embrace of renewal and transformation. Here, the river's identity dissolves, and it becomes part of something greater, an endless cycle of renewal and rebirth. In this journey along the River of Renewal, we learn that renewal is not a single event, but a continuous process. It is the gentle, persistent flow of growth, adaptation, and transformation. It is the courage to face obstacles, the wisdom to reflect, and the grace to release and start anew. So as you drift into the realm of dreams tonight, carry with you the serenity of the river, the strength of its flow, and the promise of renewal. Let the waters of this river cleanse your spirit, wash away your worries, and fill you with the gentle assurance that, like the river, you too can find your way no matter where your journey leads. Sleep well, dream deeply, and awaken renewed. The source of renewal is a powerful concept that connects deeply with the idea of starting fresh, healing, and tapping into our untapped potential. It is the beginning of a transformative journey, an origin of all things that emerge in life. In the natural world, a source is where a river begins its life, often as a small stream or spring, which gradually grows as it gathers momentum from tributaries, streams, and rain. The source is the starting point of all journeys, the place where potential is infinite and yet to be fully realized. This is where renewal begins, at the very heart of possibility, where life, energy, and growth first take form. The idea of a source often evokes images of something pure, untouched, and untainted by the complexities of life. The source, in many ways, represents our original self, the part of us that is innately whole, clean, and full of infinite potential. At the core of who we are lies a wellspring of vitality that remains unchanged, regardless of the obstacles and challenges that life may present. This inner well of strength, creativity, and wisdom can sometimes feel hidden beneath the layers of life's experiences, but it is always there, waiting to be rediscovered. To understand the true essence of the source of renewal, we need to look at the way it operates within us. Renewal does not simply happen when things are perfect, rather, it emerges from the moments when we are willing to return to our origin, to reconnect with what is real, authentic, and true. Much like a river that finds its way to the sea, we are drawn toward the source of our being, a place where we can reconnect with the energy that has always been within us. It is in this process of reconnecting with our source that we experience renewal in its truest form. The source of renewal is not always something we can immediately identify or understand, but it is something that is always present. It is the stillness within the chaos, the quiet voice beneath the noise of the world. It's in those moments when we pause, when we take time to listen to our heart, when we reconnect with our spirit, that we begin to uncover this source. For some, the source may be found in nature, in the stillness of the forest, by the ocean, or in the embrace of a loved one. For others, it may be found in the silence of meditation or prayer, in the art of mindfulness, or in the simple act of breathing deeply and releasing tension. The source is always personal, always unique, and always available when we make the choice to seek it out. In many ways, the source of renewal is a return to innocence, to that moment before we were shaped and molded by external forces. It is a space where we are not defined by our failures, our mistakes, or the labels others have placed upon us. In this space, there is no judgment, no limitation, only the pure potential for growth, healing, and transformation. The source of renewal reminds us that no matter how far we have traveled down the winding road of life, no matter how many twists and turns we have encountered, we can always return to this place of origin. Like a river that carves its way through the land, leaving traces of its path behind, we too leave footprints on our journey. However, at any point, we can choose to return to the source and begin again, to be reborn and refreshed, ready to move forward with new purpose and vision. The source of renewal is also a reminder of the cyclical nature of life. Just as rivers flow in endless cycles, from the mountains to the valleys, from the source to the sea, we too experience cycles of renewal. We are constantly evolving, shifting, and transforming. Sometimes we need to slow down, rest, and find our center again before we can move forward. The source teaches us that renewal is not always a dramatic, immediate change, but rather a gradual, gentle process of healing and rediscovery. It is like a river's flow, constant and steady, never rushing, always moving toward the next stage of its journey. In times of struggle or hardship, the source of renewal provides us with the strength and resilience to face challenges with grace and wisdom. It is in these moments of difficulty that we are often called to reconnect with our origin, to return to that place of peace, clarity, and purpose. The source within us is unwavering, unshaken by the storms of life, and it is in our connection with this unshakable force that we find the courage to persevere. The river, despite encountering rocks, branches, or fallen trees, continues its journey, undeterred by obstacles. Similarly, when we reconnect with our source, we can approach life's challenges with renewed strength and determination. In the natural world, the river is constantly evolving, carving new paths, shaping the land, and enriching the environment around it. Likewise, when we reconnect with the source of our renewal, we also begin to shape and transform our lives. Our experiences, our relationships, our growth, all of these elements begin to merge, and we become more attuned to the flow of life. We begin to recognize the interconnectedness of all things, and we see that we are not separate from the world around us, but rather an integral part of it. Just as a river nourishes the land through which it flows, so too can we nourish and transform our lives when we draw from the source of our renewal. But what is it about the source that holds such transformative power? It is the purity, the authenticity, the clarity that it offers us. When we draw from the source, we are connecting with what is real and true. We tap into an inner wisdom that goes beyond the noise of the world, a wisdom that speaks to our deepest desires, our highest calling, and our truest potential. In the quiet space of the source, we can hear the whisper of our soul, guiding us toward our most authentic path. This is the space where creativity flows freely, where new ideas are born, and where inspiration thrives. It is in this connection to the source that we are reminded of our boundless potential, our inherent worth, and our ability to create the life we desire. At the source of a river, the water is clear and untouched by the external elements. It is a reminder that, at our core, we too are clear and untainted by the judgments and influences of others. Life may muddy the waters. It may introduce obstacles and challenges that cloud our judgment or cause us to lose sight of who we are. But beneath it all, our true essence remains unchanged. When we return to the source, we find clarity again. We can strip away the layers of confusion, doubt, and fear and rediscover who we are at our very core. This clarity is a powerful tool in the process of renewal. When we are clear about who we are, what we want, and where we are going, we can navigate the journey of life with greater ease and confidence. Just as the river flows effortlessly when it is unimpeded, so too can we flow through life when we are aligned with our true self, with the source of our being. When we listen to the call of the source, we are reminded of our purpose and our mission in life. We no longer feel lost or directionless, but rather filled with a sense of inner knowing and peace. In essence, the source of renewal is not just a physical place or an external concept, it is a state of being. It is the ability to return to the core of who we are, to reconnect with the pure energy of life that resides within us. It is a space where we can heal, grow, and evolve. It is the place where transformation begins, and just as a river begins at a source and flows endlessly, so too does our journey of renewal. Each time we return to the source, we are not only revitalized but also propelled forward on our path, ready to continue the journey with renewed strength and purpose. The source is always there, waiting for us to reconnect, to rediscover its healing waters. And when we do, we unlock the boundless power of renewal, allowing it to flow through us, shaping and transforming our lives in ways we never thought possible. Growth through experiences is a concept that speaks to the heart of personal transformation, a journey that each of us must navigate in our own way. It is not a process defined by comfort or ease, but one that emerges through the challenges, triumphs, setbacks, and lessons that life presents. Our experiences, whether positive or negative, are the fertile ground in which our potential is cultivated, nurtured, and brought to fruition. Like a plant that grows through the soil, pushing its way toward the sun, we too must grow through the soil of our experiences, moving through darkness, discomfort, and uncertainty to reach the light of understanding, wisdom, and purpose. At the core of this growth is the recognition that experiences are not isolated events, but interconnected moments that shape us and prepare us for what is to come. Every experience, no matter how seemingly insignificant, holds within it the seeds of growth. Each moment is a lesson, a step on the path that leads to the unfolding of our true potential. Our lives are not linear, nor are they without their twists and turns. It is through navigating the complexities of our experiences that we learn the most about who we are, what we are capable of, and how we can use our strengths to overcome adversity. It is easy to think of growth as something that happens only in times of success or victory. We often associate growth with the accomplishment of goals, the realization of dreams, and the achievement of milestones. But true growth is not just about reaching the destination. It is about the journey itself, the lessons we learn, the resilience we develop, and the wisdom we gain through each step we take. Our greatest growth often occurs in the midst of struggle, when we are tested beyond what we think we are capable of. These challenges, while uncomfortable, are the very catalysts for transformation. They push us to confront our fears, expand our boundaries, and tap into strengths we did not know we had. Growth through experiences also requires us to shift our perspective, to see every experience, no matter how difficult, as an opportunity for learning and development. When we view life through the lens of growth, we begin to see challenges not as obstacles, but as opportunities. We begin to understand that each experience, even those that bring us pain or frustration, is contributing to our evolution. Our experiences do not define us, they refine us. They help us shed the parts of ourselves that no longer serve us and reveal the parts of us that are strong, resilient, and capable of great things. When we reflect on our experiences, we often notice patterns or themes that emerge over time. Certain lessons seem to repeat themselves, and we find ourselves confronting similar challenges, only in different forms. These repetitions are not coincidences, but signals from life, guiding us toward the areas where we need to grow the most. Perhaps we repeatedly face situations that test our patience, or maybe we find ourselves dealing with the same kind of relationships that challenge our boundaries. These patterns are not there to punish us, they are there to guide us toward deeper self-awareness and growth. Each time we face a similar challenge, we are given the opportunity to approach it from a new perspective, armed with the lessons from our past experiences. Through this cycle, we gradually build the skills, wisdom, and emotional intelligence that allow us to navigate life with greater ease and confidence. However, growth through experiences also involves embracing discomfort. It is easy to shy away from the uncomfortable parts of life, to resist change and avoid the hard lessons. But discomfort is where growth truly happens. Just as a seed must break through the hard shell of its seed coat to sprout into a new plant, we too must break through the discomforts and challenges of our experiences in order to grow. This does not mean that we should seek out suffering or hardship, but rather that we should embrace the inevitable discomforts that come with change. The process of growth is rarely smooth or without friction. It is the moments of discomfort, the moments when we feel challenged, uncertain, or vulnerable, that stretch us beyond our current state and help us evolve into the people we are meant to become. The key to growth through experiences is not just about accumulating knowledge or achieving success, but about cultivating a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. As we move through different experiences, we become more aware of our own thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. We begin to notice the patterns in our reactions and the triggers that lead us to make certain choices. This awareness is the first step toward transformation. When we become aware of our own patterns, we gain the power to change them. We begin to make choices that align more closely with our values and our higher purpose. Growth is not just about adding new experiences to our lives, it is about integrating those experiences into our sense of self and using them to become more whole and authentic. One of the most profound aspects of growth through experiences is the role of failure. Society often teaches us to avoid failure at all costs, to strive for perfection and success in every endeavor. But failure is an essential part of growth. It is through failure that we learn the most important lessons about ourselves and our capabilities. Failure teaches us humility, resilience, and perseverance. It shows us that success is not always immediate and that the path to growth is often winding and uncertain. When we fail, We are given the opportunity to learn from our mistakes, to adjust our approach, and try again with new wisdom. Failure is not a reflection of our worth or our abilities, it is simply a stepping stone on the journey of growth. Embracing failure as a natural part of the growth process allows us to take risks, step outside our comfort zones, and pursue our goals with greater courage and confidence. Growth through experiences also requires us to be open to change. We are creatures of habit, and it can be difficult to let go of old ways of thinking, being and doing. But growth requires that we be willing to change, to evolve, and to step into the unknown. The world around us is constantly shifting, and we must adapt if we want to continue growing. This can be a scary process, as it often involves letting go of familiar patterns and beliefs that have served us in the past. But when we open ourselves to change, we invite new opportunities and perspectives into our lives. Change allows us to shed the limitations of our past selves and to embrace the fullness of who we can become. In this journey of growth, relationships play a crucial role. The people we encounter in life, whether they are family, friends, colleagues, or strangers, provide us with valuable lessons and opportunities for growth. Relationships are mirrors that reflect back to us the aspects of ourselves that we may not be aware of. Through our interactions with others, we learn about our strengths and weaknesses, our boundaries and desires, and our capacity for love, empathy, and connection. Relationships challenge us to grow emotionally, spiritually, and intellectually. They teach us about the importance of communication, compassion, and understanding. It is through our relationships that we learn the most about our own capacity for growth and change. As we continue to grow through experiences, we begin to realize that growth is not a destination, but a process. It is not something that we complete, but something that we continue to cultivate throughout our lives. Every experience we have, every challenge we face, every relationship we form contributes to our ongoing growth and evolution. The more we embrace the process of growth, the more we are able to fully embrace life itself. We learn to let go of the need for control, perfection, and certainty, and instead we learn to flow with life, trusting that each experience is an opportunity for us to expand, learn, and grow. Through growth, we come to understand that we are not defined by our past experiences, but by our capacity to learn from them and transform ourselves in the process. Our experiences, both the joyful and the painful, shape us, but they do not have the power to limit us. We are not the sum of our past mistakes, but the reflection of our willingness to grow, to evolve, and to become more of who we are meant to be. In this journey of growth through experiences, we realize that there is no final destination, there is only the continual unfolding of our potential, one experience at a time. Adapting and overcoming obstacles is an essential part of the human experience. Life does not unfold in the way we often expect. We are faced with a range of challenges, unexpected changes, personal losses, professional setbacks, health issues, and a host of other difficulties that disrupt the comfort of our daily existence. Yet, the ability to adapt and overcome these obstacles is what separates those who thrive from those who simply survive. It is this resilience, this ability to bend without breaking, that defines success and personal growth. The path to overcoming obstacles is rarely straightforward. Often it requires a shift in mindset, a new way of seeing the challenges that life presents. Initially, when faced with adversity, it's natural to feel defeated, frustrated, or helpless. These emotions are part of the human condition. They are reactions to the discomfort, fear, and uncertainty that obstacles bring. However, how we respond to these feelings determines our ability to overcome them. Rather than allowing ourselves to become consumed by negative emotions, we must learn to acknowledge them and then move beyond them, choosing instead to focus on solutions, growth, and adaptability. One of the first steps in overcoming obstacles is to embrace the reality that setbacks are a natural part of life. It is easy to expect life to always go smoothly, but such expectations often lead to disappointment and frustration when things inevitably go wrong. When we experience difficulties, it's crucial to remind ourselves that they are not signs of failure but part of the journey. Every obstacle is a test of our resilience and an opportunity for growth. It is through overcoming these challenges that we learn our greatest lessons and develop the strength to face future obstacles with confidence. Adapting to challenges often requires a change in perspective. Many of us approach obstacles from the viewpoint of limitation, seeing only what we cannot do or how difficult the situation is. However, when we change our perspective, we start to see obstacles as opportunities in disguise. Instead of focusing on what has been lost or what we are unable to control, we can shift our attention to what we can do and what we can change. This mindset is critical because it transforms obstacles into stepping stones, opportunities to innovate, problem solve, and grow. By focusing on solutions rather than problems, we are better equipped to handle whatever life throws our way. This shift in perspective does not mean ignoring the challenges or pretending that they are not difficult. It is about acknowledging the difficulty and then choosing to move forward with purpose and determination. One of the most powerful tools in overcoming obstacles is the ability to take action. Action creates momentum, and momentum helps to overcome inertia. When faced with a challenge, it can feel paralyzing to think about all the things that need to be done. But breaking the task down into smaller, manageable steps makes the challenge feel less overwhelming. By taking action, even in small increments, we start to regain control and build confidence in our ability to overcome obstacles. Another important element of adapting and overcoming obstacles is resilience. Resilience is the ability to recover quickly from difficulties. It is what allows people to bounce back from setbacks, to stay focused on their goals, despite the challenges that arise, and to persist when others might give up. Resilience is not an innate quality, it is something that can be cultivated over time. Like a muscle, it grows stronger the more we exercise it. Resilient people are not immune to stress or hardship. They feel fear, disappointment, and frustration just like anyone else. However, their ability to recover from these negative emotions, to get back on their feet and keep moving forward, is what sets them apart. Resilience is built on a foundation of self-belief. When faced with an obstacle, it's easy to doubt our own abilities. We may question whether we are strong enough, smart enough, or capable enough to overcome the challenge before us. These self-doubts can become major roadblocks if we allow them to take root. But building resilience requires cultivating a deep sense of self-belief, a belief that no matter what happens, we have the inner strength and capability to handle it. This belief does not come from external validation or approval, but from an internal understanding that we are capable of navigating whatever life throws at us. In addition to resilience, another key to overcoming obstacles is patience. Often we want quick fixes or instant results, especially when faced with challenges. The desire for things to improve quickly can lead to frustration and discouragement when things don't happen as fast as we would like. However, many obstacles require time and effort to overcome. It's important to recognize that progress is not always linear, and that setbacks are often part of the process. Patience allows us to remain steady and committed, even when the path ahead seems unclear or slow-moving. It helps us to trust that, over time, we will find a way through the challenge. One of the most valuable aspects of overcoming obstacles is learning from the experience. Every obstacle we face offers us an opportunity to learn more about ourselves, our strengths, and our weaknesses. In many cases, obstacles force us to develop new skills, build new strategies, and rethink our approach to problems. These lessons are invaluable because they make us better equipped to face future challenges. When we take the time to reflect on what we have learned through our struggles, we become wiser and more prepared for whatever comes next. The lessons learned from overcoming obstacles are often what propel us to even greater achievements in the future. Support systems also play a critical role in overcoming obstacles. We were not designed to face life's challenges alone. Whether it is family, friends, mentors, or colleagues, the people around us can offer valuable support, encouragement, and perspective when we are struggling. Having a support system does not mean that we are weak or incapable of handling challenges on our own. It simply means that we recognize the value of community and the strength that comes from sharing our burdens. A strong support system can help us stay grounded, focused, and motivated, even when the going gets tough. They remind us of our strengths, offer fresh perspectives, and provide the encouragement we need to keep going. Adapting and overcoming obstacles also requires a certain level of flexibility. Life is unpredictable, and the best-laid plans often don't unfold as expected. When faced with obstacles, it is important to remain flexible and open to new ways of thinking and doing. Rigidity in our approach can prevent us from seeing alternative solutions or from adapting to changing circumstances. Flexibility allows us to pivot when necessary, to adjust our strategies, and to find new paths when the original route is blocked. This adaptability is a key skill that helps us navigate the complexities of life. Ultimately, the ability to adapt and overcome obstacles is about finding strength in adversity, learning from our struggles and remaining committed to our goals despite the difficulties we face. It is about choosing to view obstacles not as insurmountable barriers, but as opportunities for growth and development. With the right mindset, resilience, patience, and support, we can turn even the most difficult challenges into stepping stones on the path to success. Each obstacle we overcome strengthens us, teaches us, and propels us toward becoming the best version of ourselves. It is through this process of adaptation and overcoming obstacles that we truly discover what we are made of and unlock the full potential within us. Moments of reflection are the still spaces in our lives where we pause, breathe, and allow ourselves to look inward. In the hustle and bustle of our everyday routines, it is easy to become swept up in the constant flow of tasks, obligations, and distractions. Yet, it is in these brief but profound moments of stillness that we find clarity, wisdom, and a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. Reflection is not merely a passive activity, but an active process of looking back, understanding our experiences, and using those insights to move forward with greater purpose. The act of reflecting requires us to step back from the noise of our daily lives and take the time to consider our thoughts, emotions, and actions. In this space, we can examine our experiences without judgment, without rushing to conclusions, and without the pressure to fix anything. Reflection is an opportunity to simply observe, to be present with our thoughts, and to allow our inner selves to surface. In this moment, we become more aware of our choices, our behaviors, and the underlying motivations driving our actions. This awareness is the key to transformation, as it is only through conscious reflection that we can truly grow. One of the most powerful aspects of reflection is its ability to offer clarity. When we are caught up in the whirlwind of life, it can feel as though everything is moving too quickly for us to catch up. Our thoughts become fragmented, and our decisions may be driven by impulse or habit rather than intention. Reflection provides us with the space to slow down, to step out of the noise, and to reconnect with our true desires and goals. In these moments, we can gain perspective on what truly matters, allowing us to make more thoughtful decisions that align with our values and long-term aspirations. Reflection also helps us to make sense of our experiences. Life is filled with both triumphs and challenges, and it is often difficult to see the lessons in the midst of difficult situations. When we reflect on these experiences, however, we can extract the valuable lessons they hold. This process of meaning-making allows us to reframe our challenges not as setbacks but as opportunities for growth. By looking back at our struggles through a reflective lens, we are able to see how they have shaped us, how they have contributed to our personal development, and how they have led us to new insights about ourselves and the world around us. In many ways, reflection serves as a mirror, allowing us to view ourselves from a different perspective. It is in these moments of stillness that we are able to observe our thoughts, feelings, and actions without judgment. This can be a powerful tool for self-awareness. How often do we move through our days without truly acknowledging how we feel or why we react the way we are. Reflection allows us to pause and explore these questions. It gives us the opportunity to understand our emotional responses, to recognize patterns in our behavior, and to identify areas where we may need to make changes. Through this process, we gain greater insight into who we are and why we act the way we do. In addition to offering clarity and self-awareness, reflection also fosters a sense of gratitude. When we take the time to reflect on the events of our lives, we often realize how much we have to be thankful for. Even in the midst of challenges, there are moments of beauty, kindness, and growth that may have gone unnoticed in the rush of everyday life. By reflecting on these moments, we cultivate a sense of appreciation for the small things, the seemingly insignificant experiences that contribute to the richness of our lives. Gratitude, born out of reflection, helps us to see the world through a more positive and appreciative lens, even when faced with difficulties. Moreover, reflection allows us to integrate our experiences into our lives. Without reflection, experiences can remain disjointed, and we may miss the deeper meaning behind them. When we take the time to reflect, we are able to connect the dots, to weave the threads of our experiences into a cohesive story that makes sense. This process of integration helps us to make sense of the past and apply its lessons to the present and future. It allows us to move forward with a greater sense of understanding, purpose, and direction. One of the most important aspects of reflection is its ability to foster growth. By taking the time to reflect on our actions, decisions, and experiences, we open ourselves up to change. Reflection invites us to examine where we are and where we want to go. It encourages us to consider how our past experiences have influenced our current mindset and behavior, and to identify areas where we may need to shift in order to reach our goals. This awareness is the first step in creating lasting change. Without reflection, we may find ourselves stuck in old patterns, repeating the same mistakes, and missing opportunities for growth. But through reflection, we become more attuned to our inner desires, motivations, and challenges, and we can make conscious choices that support our growth and development. The power of reflection also lies in its ability to help us navigate change. Change is inevitable, yet it can be difficult to embrace. Whether it is a change in our personal lives, our careers, or our relationships, the unknown can trigger feelings of fear, anxiety, and uncertainty. Reflection helps us to process these feelings, to gain clarity about the changes we are experiencing, and to find meaning in them. Through reflection, we are able to understand how change fits into the larger picture of our lives, and we can see how it may serve as an opportunity for growth, new experiences, and personal transformation. Reflection helps us to approach change with a sense of openness, curiosity, and acceptance, rather than resistance or fear. In many ways, moments of reflection offer us the opportunity to reset. Life can sometimes feel overwhelming, and the constant barrage of tasks and responsibilities can leave us feeling drained and disconnected. Reflection provides us with the chance to pause, to step back from the demands of life, and to reconnect with our inner selves. It allows us to assess where we are, where we've been, and where we want to go. In these moments, we are able to reset our priorities, realign with our goals, and recharge our energy. Reflection is not just about looking back, it is about preparing for the future with a clear mind and a renewed sense of purpose. The practice of reflection also has a deep connection to mindfulness. Mindfulness is the art of being fully present in the moment, and reflection is a natural extension of this practice. By reflecting on our experiences, we bring our attention to the present moment and develop a deeper awareness of ourselves and our surroundings. In this space, we are able to fully engage with our thoughts, feelings, and experiences without distraction. This mindfulness allows us to gain clarity, to feel more connected to our emotions, and to approach life with greater intention and focus. Reflection, when practiced mindfully, helps us to cultivate a sense of peace and contentment as we are able to be present with ourselves and our experiences without judgment or expectation. Reflection is not a one-time event, but a continual process. As we journey through life, we are constantly encountering new experiences, new challenges, and new opportunities for growth. It is through ongoing reflection that we are able to integrate these experiences into our lives and continue to evolve as individuals. The practice of reflection is not just about looking back at past events, but about staying present with our thoughts, feelings, and actions in the present moment. It is a tool for continuous learning, growth, and self-discovery. In the end, moments of reflection are powerful because they offer us the opportunity to pause, to look inward, and to reconnect with the essence of who we are. Through reflection, we gain clarity, insight, and understanding, allowing us to make more intentional choices, embrace change, and grow into the people we are meant to be. These moments, though fleeting, are profound in their ability to transform our lives and guide us on the path to greater self-awareness, purpose, and fulfillment. The cycle of renewal is an intrinsic part of life, one that shapes the rhythm of our existence in subtle but profound ways. It is an ongoing process, a continual loop that encompasses growth, decay, and rebirth. The cycle of renewal is present in every aspect of life, from the natural world to our inner selves. It teaches us that nothing is static, and everything is in a constant state of flux. This cycle is not one of mere repetition, but of evolution, where each turn brings forth a deeper understanding and a greater sense of purpose. It is in the ebb and flow of this cycle that we find the space for transformation, healing, and reinvention. At its core, the cycle of renewal is about change. It is about recognizing that life is not a straight line, but a series of peaks and valleys, moments of growth and times of challenge. The natural world offers us a clear and compelling example of this cycle. Seasons change, plants grow and die, and animals move through their own cycles of life and death. Each stage is vital, as each step contributes to the ongoing process of renewal. Just as winter gives way to spring, and autumn follows summer, we too experience moments of dormancy followed by bursts of growth. This cycle reminds us that even in the darkest moments, there is always the potential for renewal, for new beginnings. Renewal is not a process that happens overnight. It is slow, sometimes imperceptible, yet always present. Like the changing of the seasons, it requires patience, trust, and acceptance. There are times in life when we feel stagnant, when the days blur together, and we wonder if we are making any progress at all. In these moments, it can be easy to believe that we are stuck, that we're not moving forward. However, the cycle of renewal teaches us that even during these periods of apparent stillness, growth is happening beneath the surface. Just as a seed takes time to sprout, so too does our personal growth unfold at its own pace. The cycle is not defined by instant results, but by the gradual accumulation of small changes that ultimately lead to transformation. One of the most important lessons of the cycle of renewal is that it requires us to let go. Renewal is a process of shedding old layers, of releasing what no longer serves us, and of making space for something new. Just as a tree sheds its leaves in the fall to make room for new growth in the spring, we too must sometimes let go of old habits, beliefs, or attachments that hold us back. This can be a painful process, as letting go often involves confronting our fears, insecurities, and attachments. Yet it is in this surrender that we make room for the new, for the potential that lies dormant within us. The act of releasing is not an end, but a beginning. It is a necessary step in the cycle of renewal, one that allows us to embrace the unknown, and to move forward with an open heart. The cycle of renewal also teaches us that challenges are an integral part of the process. In fact, it is often through our struggles that we experience the greatest opportunities for growth. Just as the earth must endure harsh winters before it can bloom in the spring, we too must face adversity in order to experience renewal. It is in the most difficult moments that we are forced to reevaluate our priorities, our values, and our beliefs. These moments of hardship challenge us to dig deeper, to search for meaning in the midst of chaos, and to find strength in our vulnerability. It is through overcoming these challenges that we develop resilience, wisdom, and a deeper sense of self. The cycle of renewal does not promise a life free from difficulty, but it does promise that through adversity, we will emerge stronger, wiser, and more capable of facing whatever comes next. Another aspect of the cycle of renewal is the process of reflection. Renewal cannot happen without introspection, without taking the time to examine where we are, where we have been, and where we want to go. Reflection allows us to pause and take stock of our lives. It gives us the opportunity to assess whether we are living in alignment with our true selves, whether our actions are supporting our goals, and whether we are honoring our values. In moments of reflection, we may realize that we need to change direction, to adjust our course, or to redefine what we want out of life. Reflection is a vital step in the cycle of renewal because it provides the insight and clarity needed to make informed decisions and to take intentional action. Without reflection, we would be like ships adrift on the sea, carried by the currents without a clear sense of direction. Through reflection, we chart a course toward renewal, one that is guided by our deepest truths. The process of renewal also involves a sense of trust in the process itself. In a world that often values speed and immediate results, it can be difficult to trust that renewal will come in its own time. We live in a culture that encourages constant doing, constant striving, and constant achieving. However, the cycle of renewal teaches us that sometimes the most powerful action we can take is to simply allow things to unfold. It is in the moments of stillness, of waiting, that we find the space for renewal to take place. Trusting the process means accepting that some things are beyond our control and that the timing of renewal is not ours to dictate. This trust is not passive, it is an active surrender, an acceptance that everything is unfolding as it should. Even if we cannot see the full picture, trusting the cycle of renewal requires faith in the natural rhythms of life, faith that even in moments of uncertainty, growth is taking place beneath the surface. The cycle of renewal is also deeply connected to the concept of rebirth. Just as nature experiences periods of death and rebirth, so do we. There are times in our lives when we must let go of the old self in order to step into a new version of who we are meant to become. This process of rebirth is not always comfortable, as it involves confronting the parts of ourselves that need to change and embracing the unknown. Rebirth requires courage, for it calls us to step into unfamiliar territory, to let go of the identities and labels that have defined us, and to embrace the person we are becoming. It is a journey of self-discovery, one that asks us to trust that who we are becoming is more aligned with our true essence than the person we once were. The cycle of renewal, then, is not just about external change, but about internal transformation. It is a continual process of shedding the old and embracing the new, of allowing ourselves to be reborn again and again. In a broader sense, the cycle of renewal also mirrors the cycles of society and culture. Just as individuals experience renewal, so do communities, nations, and civilizations. There are times when the collective consciousness undergoes shifts, when old systems and structures give way to new ways of thinking, living and being. These societal renewals are often born out of struggle and conflict, but they pave the way for progress and transformation. The cycle of renewal reminds us that everything is interconnected, that the individual and the collective are inextricably linked, and that our personal growth is part of the larger web of transformation taking place in the world. Just as we experience periods of darkness and light in our own lives, so too does humanity move through its own cycles of struggle and progress. The cycle of renewal is a reminder that life is not linear, nor is it predictable. It is a dynamic, never-changing process that requires patience, resilience, and faith. It asks us to embrace the ebb and flow of life, to trust that change, though sometimes uncomfortable, is an essential part of the human experience. Through this cycle, we are reminded that renewal is always possible, that no matter where we are in our journey, we have the capacity to begin again, to reinvent ourselves, and to move forward with a renewed sense of purpose and vitality. The cycle of renewal is not just a natural law, it is a spiritual and emotional truth, one that invites us to let go, trust the process, and allow ourselves to be transformed time and time again. The cycle of renewal is an integral and undeniable aspect of life that permeates all things both seen and unseen. It is the heartbeat of nature, the force that drives growth, decay, and rebirth. The cycle of renewal exists in the natural world, in our personal experiences, and in the communities to which we belong. It is a constant reminder that change is inevitable, that life is a continuous ebb and flow of beginnings and endings, and that every ending paves the way for a new beginning. This cycle operates in the background of all existence, whether we are aware of it or not, shaping and reshaping the world around us, pushing us forward into new phases of growth and transformation. At its core, the cycle of renewal is about transformation. It is not just about returning to a previous state, but about evolving and becoming something new. This transformation is not always visible at first glance, and it often requires patience and understanding. Much like the seasons that change from winter to spring, from summer to autumn, our lives go through periods of dormancy, growth, and decline. Each phase has its own lessons to impart, and through them, we learn how to adapt, evolve, and thrive in the face of change. The cycle of renewal teaches us that nothing is permanent, and that everything is in a constant state of flux. It offers us the opportunity to reset, to shed what no longer serves us, and to make space for new experiences, ideas, and growth. Renewal is not a simple process. It is a slow, often subtle shift that occurs over time. It is easy to overlook the small changes that happen in the quiet spaces of our lives, but it is these very changes that accumulate and create the conditions for profound transformation. Renewal does not require a grand gesture often. It is the small, consistent actions that lead to the greatest change. The natural world offers a perfect analogy in the way that plants grow from tiny seeds, stretching their roots deep into the earth before breaking through the surface and reaching for the sky. Just as a seed requires time, care, and the right conditions to bloom, we too must cultivate our own potential through patience and persistence. This is why the cycle of renewal is not always obvious to the naked eye. It is often a hidden process that occurs beneath the surface, in the quiet moments when we are not paying attention.